In the boundless expanse of space, a new battleground emerges. This is the story of space warfare, a domain where superpowers vie for control beyond our planet. Space, once a peaceful sanctuary, now finds itself in the crosshairs of global military competition. As our technology advances, so too does our ambition. The cosmos, once a frontier of exploration and discovery, is now a stage for a new kind of warfare. A race has begun, not for the stars themselves, but for the strategic advantage they offer. Superpowers are pushing boundaries, both technological and territorial, to establish dominance beyond our pale blue dot. This is not the Cold War of the 20th century, this is the dawn of a new era. An era where the stakes are higher, the battlefield larger, and the weapons more advanced than ever before. This is the race for space supremacy. The space race began in the mid-20th century with the US U-2 spy plane and Soviet Sputnik 1 launch. This was a time of rapid technological advancement and escalating tensions between superpowers. The U-2 spy plane, a high-altitude reconnaissance aircraft, was America's eye in the sky, while Sputnik 1, the world's first artificial satellite, heralded the dawn of the Soviet space program. During the 60s, both nations turned their gaze towards the vast expanse of space, marking the beginning of space warfare. On the American front, the Blue Gemini project was initiated, a military adaptation of the civilian Gemini program intending to explore defensive and offensive capabilities in space. Meanwhile, the Soviets embarked on the Almaz project, a series of military space stations designed for reconnaissance and potentially to test orbital weaponry. These were not just scientific pursuits, they were strategic moves in a high-stakes game of cosmic chess. As the decade closed, the world had witnessed humans setting foot on the moon, yet behind the scenes, a less publicized competition was intensifying. The race was not just about exploration, it was about establishing supremacy in a new domain. The stakes were high, the rewards immense. Space, the final frontier, had become the latest battleground. These were the first steps in the race for mastery over the cosmos. From the 1970s to the 1980s, theories and tests for space warfare emerged, including space-based lasers and anti-missiles. As the Cold War raged on, the United States and the Soviet Union sought to outdo each other in a celestial chess game. The cosmos became a stage for technological prowess, with both superpowers exploring the potential of space-based weaponry. The next few decades saw an evolution in space warfare technologies. The focus shifted from manned missions to unmanned ones, from bulky hardware to compact, efficient technology. The advent of the 21st century marked a significant shift in dynamics. Emerging superpowers like China began to flex their muscles in the cosmos. In the early 2000s, China conducted tests of anti-satellite weapons, revealing a new facet of space supremacy. The ability to disrupt or destroy an enemy's satellites could potentially blind and silence them, giving the attacker a significant advantage during conflicts. The United States responded with the development of the SM-3 interceptor missile, a ground-based system capable of intercepting and destroying hostile satellites and ballistic missiles. This was a clear demonstration of the escalating stakes in space, a domain that was no longer the exclusive playground of the original superpowers. The stakes in space were escalating. The cosmos, once a symbol of peace and exploration, was being transformed into a theater of potential conflict. The race for space supremacy was no longer a matter of prestige or exploration, but a strategic necessity. Today, several nations have dedicated space forces, including the United States, Russia, and India. These are not the stuff of science fiction, but rather an integral part of modern warfare strategy. The United States Space Force, established in 2019, is tasked with organizing, training, and equipping space forces to protect US and allied interests in space. Russia, not to be outdone, has a space force under its aerospace forces umbrella. This force is responsible for the country's military satellites and the Plesetsk Cosmodrome, a key launch site. India, a rising power in space, has the Defense Space Agency, a tri-service command of the Indian Armed Forces, aimed at better coordination and effective use of India's space assets. But it's not just these three. France, for instance, has a Space High Command as part of its Air and Space Force. They are developing weapons programs for space, underscoring the importance they place on this new frontier. In the theater of modern warfare, satellite-based systems have become pivotal. Surveillance satellites can provide real-time images of enemy movements and installations. Communication satellites ensure seamless communication between different units of the military, even in the most remote corners of the world. Positioning systems, like the Global Positioning System or GPS, provide accurate location data, essential for navigation and precision strikes. But space warfare isn't just about watching and communicating. It's also about disabling the enemy's space capabilities. Anti-satellite weapons designed to destroy or incapacitate enemy satellites are a key part of this strategy. The race for space supremacy is not just about military might, it's also about economics, technology, and prestige. Space is a high ground that offers a significant advantage to whoever controls it. The stakes are high, the competition fierce. These are the modern masters of the cosmos. Dominance in space means dominance in surveillance, communication, and potentially offensive capabilities. It's a high-stakes game where the players are superpowers, and the playing field is the cosmos. When we think about space, we often imagine an infinite expanse of stars and galaxies, a realm of exploration and scientific discovery. But for these superpowers, space is a strategic asset, a new frontier to conquer and control. The motivations are clear. The one who controls space can observe the globe without hindrance, communicate with any point on Earth, and potentially deploy weapons from a position of untouchable high ground. It's a bird's-eye view of the battlefield, a commanding perspective that could tip the scales in any conflict. But the race for space supremacy is not just about military might, it's also about the Moon and Mars. These celestial bodies aren't just scientific curiosities, they're geopolitical chess pieces. A flag planted on the lunar surface or the red Martian soil is more than a symbol of scientific achievement. It's a statement of power, a declaration of a country's technological prowess and its ability to reach beyond Earth's confines. The race for Mars and the Moon, therefore, isn't merely a race for knowledge. It's a race for influence, for prestige, and for the strategic high ground of the cosmos. The prize isn't just the glory of being the first. The prize is strategic superiority. The race for space supremacy is not just a matter of the future, it's happening now. Recent years have witnessed a flurry of activity in this new theater of conflict. And it's not just the nations we have to consider. Commercial entities have also taken center stage. Take Starlink, for instance. This network of satellites, initially launched to provide global internet coverage, played a vital role in Ukraine, offering a lifeline of communication when other channels were compromised. These incidents highlight the evolving nature of space warfare. It's not just about who can get there first, but who can make the most strategic use of this vast expanse. The race for space supremacy is far from over. As we reach for the stars, the question remains, who will master the cosmos? The militarization of space, while a strategic advantage, raises complex ethical and legal quandaries. International law dictates that outer space is the province of all mankind, but how does this stand against military aspirations? The cosmos, in its infinite expanse, resists ownership. Yet the race continues, with nations vying to stake their claim. It's a paradoxical pursuit, a testament to human ambition. The cosmos awaits its masters. This has been a journey through the history and future of space warfare.